Not everyone knows about that. So, what is that been like? Same organization even. What has that been like for you?
It's been pretty fun, man. I got a chance to play with him in AAA a little bit this year, and he's pitching really well, and it just feels natural. You know, obviously grew up with him my whole life. Played most teams I've been on. He's been on the same team. Of course, when we got the pro ball, he was with the Phillies organization first, but just having him over here has been a lot of fun, man. It's been really good for my parents. My family loves it, so it's been a lot of fun.
What have those conversations been like of like what it might be like for both of us to be in the show?
You know, that would be a dream come true, honestly, man. Like, it's something that obviously I hope happens one day. And I think if he keeps pitching the way he's pitching, he'll have a good chance. But it's something we talk about, but at the end of the day, he just kind of more focused on staying in the moment and just kind of doing what he can in AAA. And if it happens, it happens. And but like I said, it'd be pretty cool to be on the same team in the major leagues.
Sure, for sure. I wanted to ask you, man, like Texas, we are the football state, right?
Right.
But the baseball pipeline, does it get appreciated enough? Just the talent that is in the state.
You know, that's a constant argument in the locker room between you know, guys from Florida or guys from California, Georgia. I don't know, man. That's like I'm from close to the border, so I played with a lot of guys in high school from Louisiana, and I've seen a lot of high school ball in a couple other states, and I'm just like, man, I just don't, like, I went to a 4A school, and my team alone has 5 guys in professional baseball on it. And then I see guys in other states where their school's like a 8A and they have 2 or 3 guys go to college. I'm just like, it's not, I don't think it compares. I think Florida, Georgia, California, obviously the bigger states, but man, there's some kids in like from 3A to 6A in Texas that are like really good. So I do think it kind of goes a little underappreciated. And I mean, just the sheer number of guys in the major league from the state of Texas, to me, is a pretty good indicator that amateur ball in the state is pretty good, man.
For sure. I feel like just the pipe, like we're seeing more and more in the majors now,
right.
and that wasn't always the case.
Right. Yeah, and I think especially in the past few years, you know, obviously like the Metroplex area, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso even. It's just with the rise in like analytics and social media, you know, you see kids that are kind of giving up on like basketball and football and taking the chance with baseball. And I think it's really nice to see. I wish more African American kids would pick it up because like I went to West North Stark, which was a powerhouse football school. And I just see the athleticism that a kid who may not go D1 in football has because he's too short. But if he came to baseball, he could be a, you know, big Power 5 D1, probably throw 90 plus. You know what I mean? And so that's the only part I wish would kind of translate over to African American schools, inner city schools. I think it would be awesome to see that. But because like Atlanta has that, and I think if Atlanta has it, Houston and Dallas could easily do it, you know what I mean? So that's just one thing I like to see. But I think that social media and that analytical rise over the last 5, 6, 7 years it's been really good for the amateur level.
For sure. That was gonna be my last one for you is to pick up on that. What made you pursue baseball?
Well, my older brother played, and my dad was a basketball coach, so we played basketball first. And my older brother just had a natural knack for playing baseball. And he was like, well, if he's pretty good at it, then, you know, he should, maybe my twins should play. And so from like probably 5 to 8 years old, he built like a little infield with a backstop and just grinded every day on baseball. But it was always my favorite sport, but like my brothers, they both love basketball. But I just think being naturally kind of a little more receptive for it. And I don't have the athletic ability to be great at basketball or football. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm a good athlete, but when it comes to guys that are like elevating in that sport, I'm just not. I'm too short, you know what I mean? Not fast enough. Don't don't jump high enough. But baseball, like I said, if you have one tool in baseball, you can make it a long way. So like we had good arms as a young kids, so we kind of rode with that. But it was definitely tough. Went to like I said, went to West Orange. Big football. Earl Thomas went there. Kevin Smith, the Cowboy, went there. And I luckily was in a grade range where we had a bunch of guys that like baseball, and that right there was just like, all right, well, they like baseball and they played select ball too, so it just kind of all worked that way together. But yeah, man, I do wish that was push more on young black kids, man, because you have a lot of opportunity in this game to make it really far, and it can be tough, I know, because it's hard whenever. I was lucky enough to have a twin that was on the team with me every time, so I wasn't alone. But I've seen a lot of select teams, high school age, where there's one African American, one black kid on the team, and you can kind of feel like, dang, man, nobody else is out here like kind of relate, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go back to baseball. I'm gonna go back to basketball, or back to football, where all my homies are playing, and it can be tough. But I really do think that there's so much opportunity for athletes that are missing out because they're not taking a chance. But it's something I hope that can increase here in the next coming years.
Well, it's a longer career as well, right? The chance,
yeah.
Football,
sure, 100%.
Injury.
Right. Yeah, and especially for if you look at like position players that play in the major leagues, they're probably like Simeon, for example, could probably play football and be really good at it. But it's just a matter of choosing to try this sport out, and obviously look how far he's came. You know what I mean? And I remember growing up, like, McCutcheon was the one I was a big fan of. Prince Fielder, CeCe, like, they're not, like, those two guys especially don't look like baseball players when you imagine what a baseball player looks like. But they just are really athletic. They're still able to succeed in the sport, and I think it's something that we kind of miss out on in the black community, for sure.
Do you think people appreciate how difficult it is to play baseball? Sorry to keep going.
Definitely not. I mean, baseball is a very skill-demanding sport. You know what I mean? Like I said, you see all body types in baseball, but it's not because they're not good at baseball because of how their body looks. They're good because they're really good at the skills it requires. And a lot of people think like, oh, this guy's throwing 89 miles an hour. It can't be that hard to hit. But then, they don't see what the angle from the plate looks like, or how the ball's spinning if he throws a slider or a curveball or whatever. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot of years of practice to be really good at it. You know what I mean? And it's just, people think that you can just show up and go 3 for 3, and it just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It's really, really demanding skills-wise, focus-wise. You gotta, you gotta think. You gotta be able to think along with the game, the pace of the game, and I think that kind of goes underappreciated a little bit, for sure.
Grant, man, it's been a pleasure. Keep the grind going. We'll catch up soon. All right.
For sure.